You hearing this? This is the best thing you'll ever hear.
Yeah.
Talking without wearing pants. Pantless podcast. You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to the Pantless podcast. Here's your host, Austin and Travis. Take it away, guys. Hey,
Hey,
what's going on?
just reached out. We grabbed it because this show is ours.
It is ours, and you can take it away. I mean, you can't take it away from us.
Welcome to 1986.
Whoa!
The year. I saw a meme. They're like, wait a second. So Top Gun's the number one movie. Running Through the Hill is the number one song, and we're in a proxy war with Russia. I guess we're just trying 1986 all over again.
Oh, cheers, sir.
Oh, cheers. Let's. Oh, what? Ooh, some Stella Rosa.
No, that's some Stella Artois.
Ooh, I'm drinking some of that right there.
Chink.
Chink, chink.
I just want to make the fancy, like, because this is an Stella Artois, or however you pronounce it. But I like to Oklahoma it up and call it, I'm drinking me a Stella Artois.
Our toes. Our toes are in the sand.
Have you ever had one of these?
No, I have
These
not.
are fantastic. Liquor talk. I was at the liquor store the other day, a while back, and I did one of those pick sixes. The liquor store I go to does like the random bottles, and have you ever done one of those?
Never have.
Where they just have a rack of just random beers, and you can buy you grab like a 6-pack holder, and you can just put any 6 off the shelf on it. It's like $10 for 6 beers. And normally they if they have like a 6-pack that like one of the bottles breaks, and they only have 5 left of the 6, they'll put those 5 on the shelf because they can't sell it as a 6-pack anymore. Or if they have like one 6-pack of something that's just not selling, they've had it back there that's getting close to date, they'll throw all 6 of those on there. It's like their scratch and dent sale kind of thing.
There you go.
And I go in there and I'm like, well, and it's a way you can like try new stuff. And I was in there a while back and they had one Stella sitting there, and I put it in there, and I got some Angry Orchards and some other stuff. And that's the first time I tried one of these. And like I went in there to buy something this week, and like, hey, actually I'm gonna buy a full thing of those. Those are good. They're a good, relaxing something to drink after a hard day of work.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Stressful day. No, wait. A day of work. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't stress out at work. That's a secret. Kids, listeners, don't stress out.
Yes. Do we have a lot of kid listeners?
I don't know. They're probably younger than us, so.
That's a good point. This is the podcast world. Very few people older than.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Have you been eating? I remember from last week. You don't want me to ask about your day or your week.
Oh man, my wife made some amazing chicken Alfredo tonight. So dinner was bussin'.
What do we have? Oh, we had a pork loin.
You had pork loin's good.
I know.
That's a good one.
That's what we consider lazy dinner, when we're just not in the mood to really stand in there and cook. We'll just toss a seasoned pork loin in the oven and just let it cook for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And just a couple sides, cut it up, feed the.
Yeah, I might get some hate mail from this statement, but I think pork loin might even be higher on my list than bacon of my favorite type of pork. Saying.
When it comes to, if I have to cook it, I would rather cook pork loin than bacon, because bacon just annoys me.
Bacon is so tough to cook. It is so tough.
It's just, I don't like. My least favorite part of cooking is standing in and cooking.
Right.
I like to cook things that doesn't require me to stand in there.
Yeah.
And actually
throw it in the oven, you're good.
Yeah.
But if it's on a stove or on a grill, you have to stand there and watch it, or it'll burn.
Yep.
Or it'll boil over, or whatever you're cooking. But yeah, when you throw it in the oven, it's like pizza rolls. Boom, in the oven. Best meal ever.
Pizza.
Pizza, yeah, throw it in the oven. Bagel bites, the oven.
Ate those for lunch today.
Nice.
Yeah. So, what's sports? Spurts.
Sports. The Oklahoma Sooners are softball world champions.
Ruined my breaking news. That was my breaking news.
Oh, that was your breaking news?
That was my breaking news.
Oh, why would you talk about sports and then...
Because I was talking... Got me.
That's the biggest thing in sports right now.
Okay, so
our state has the D1 World Series champs, the D2 World Series champs.
Oh, did RSU win that?
Yeah, RSU won the Division II World Series.
I didn't know they won it.
Yep. And then we had another school, a lower, I think it was like Oklahoma Christian University. I can't remember the name of it. Another smaller Oklahoma school won their national softball championship. They didn't call it the World Series. But so we had 3 college softball teams win national championships.
State titles or national titles in softball?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome. So
yeah, I guess OU just stomped Texas, which Texas, because one of the people we work with follows baseball and softball pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
She was an OSU alumni, so she follows OSU sports, and me and her had been talking about softball. It's the only reason I really had to follow. I guess OU is the dominant force in college softball right now.
Yeah, I mean they beat UCLA to get into the World Series. Like they were in the semifinals. They beat them 15-0. They run rolled a team in the World Series tournament to get into that final game against Texas.
From what I could tell, they averaged 10 runs a game.
That's probably accurate. I don't.
What? And Texas is who they played in the final. Texas became the first ever unseeded team to ever make the Women's World Series. They were unranked, unseeded, but they had I think they won 15 games or something. I don't know how many games they played.
They got hot down the stretch at the end of the season.
Just
the tournament.
I think they almost lost to OSU or one of
they beat OSU.
They did, but that game went to all 3 games because I didn't realize the softball played to best of 3 throughout the whole tournament.
Well, okay, so here's how it worked out. Leading up to that final game, it's a double elimination tournament. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, they won out to the semifinals. So all they had to do was win one game. The teams that they played in the semis, so Oklahoma beat Texas, and so Texas fell with 1 loss, had to play Oklahoma State, and had to beat Oklahoma State 2 games. Okay. All Oklahoma State had to do was win 1 game, but Texas beat them 2 games in a row to replay Oklahoma.
I know the World Series, the actual final was a best of 3.
Yes, that is correct.
And OU won it in 2.
Yeah,
quite handedly. Yeah. And I didn't. This is my lack of knowledge. I didn't realize that softball only played 7 innings.
Yep.
Because I watched a little bit of that game last night, the second game, and OU was up 10-2. Going into the bottom of the 7th, and I'm like, oh, they still have, they kept saying, oh, this is Texas's last chance to make to stay in this. And I'm like, oh, they still got 2 innings. I'll come back to it later. No. They ended up losing that last game 10-5. They ended up scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th at the very end. They made a run. They shut OU out 2-0 till the top of the 3rd.
Yeah.
In that game. Texas was good, but dang, OU was freaking... They're a scary team. And the way the announcers were talking that even though they're graduating a lot of their superstars, they're going to be just as good next year.
Just as good? I don't know. But, yeah, they're really good. And did you know that the World Series, the whole thing is played in Oklahoma City? Every year?
Is it?
Oklahoma City is the home to the D1 College World Series.
Does softball and baseball, or?
No, just softball.
Just the women's softball World Series?
Yeah, I think baseball changes every year.
So Oklahoma City just hosts the Women's World Series every year.
Yeah, even if no Oklahoma team's there, Oklahoma City's hosting
Oh.
this. Oklahoma City is the destination. Like, yeah,
Okay. I don't know.
pretty sweet, pretty sweet.
It is fairly neutral for most. Call it it's like right in the middle of the United States. So
Yeah, and softball isn't like a big money maker, so I'm sure they all drive. And so you've got 44, you've got I-40, you've got I-35, all
Yeah.
those roads all around the country lead right, boom, converge right in Oklahoma City. So
all roads
It
lead
makes
to Tulsa.
no, Oklahoma City, yes.
Oklahoma City. Oh wow.
Um, yeah.
Hey, how are you cheating in baseball? By the way, fantasy baseball. What? Tell me your
That's what
secret.
Kelly is talking. If I was
I've been
cheating,
spreading those rumors. By the way,
if I was cheating. Here's the. I went 3 days in women's in the WNBA. In our WNBA, I went 3 days only scoring 1 point. I had one player make an assist and they get injured. All my other players either didn't play or scored 0. And so until Wednesday, I had 1 point.
I didn't ask
I'm
you.
if I was cheating, I would have more than 1 point.
I didn't ask you about baseball. I didn't ask you about basketball. I asked you about baseball, where you're 7-0.
I'm
And
using
everybody else
strategy.
is.
Like Kelly was talking to me, he was like, "Man," he goes, "if I hadn't had my pitchers maxed out, I would have beat you." And
How
what
did
he
he
doesn't
max
realize
out?
is, yeah, he was done by Saturday. Saturday he had 12 pitchers already pitched, and he had 3 people starting on Sunday. I'm like, I can't even get
I
8
never
pitchers to start.
Yeah, I could never get past 8 or 9 in a week.
But I saw it was kind of close for a while, and I would bench potential points out of fear of them scoring negative. And I told him, I was like, if we were closer, I would have played them. So, like, I probably still would have beat you, even if your pitchers still pitched. But I'm using strategery, and I'm benching points just so they don't go negative, and I don't lose. Like, I'm not out there to try to score the most points I'm just out there to win that game.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. Who am I playing? I just need to score 1 more point than you. So if I have to bench 5 people just to guarantee my victory, I'll bench 5 people.
I'm just
What I gotta do?
I'm just so glad that Altuve's got me negative today.
He's got you negative?
Yeah, he's at -2. He's having one of his bad days.
Ugh.
The last 5 games, he's given me 3, 9, 1, 2, and today it's a -2.
Gotta make up for that 9 that he gave you.
Yeah. But George Springer is
Does he still play for the Astros? I know he used to. Does he
Toronto.
still?
And he's got me 13, and Michael Brantley gave me 9 tonight. Got Trout on the old Trout and Pete Alonso on the frickin' bench because they're both hurt.
Yeah, having Trout hurts. Having Trout hurt. Yeah.
He's about every third game. He's TDT, DTD, about every 3 to 4 games because he's old. But
I'm playing the daddies who his position players are going. He's scored 42 points today from his position players, and most of them are still playing. It's ridiculous.
I've got 31. I've got 31 from my fielders tonight.
He's got 40. He's got a guy. He's got his catcher has scored 10 points.
Ooh,
His
gross.
his second baseman has scored 12 points.
Gross.
His first baseman has scored 6 points. His utility player has scored 4 points. His shortstop has scored 3 points. He's just got people going crazy today.
Yeah, but I beat him 2 weeks ago, last week or something. He didn't play good at all the week I played him.
I mean, he only has 169 points, so he has scored. What is that? A fourth? He scored 25% of his points just today.
It didn't
So
help.
my guys are balling out too, so that's good.
It didn't help
I've got
that
45.
I scored -8 yesterday. And Chansey scored
Overall?
45.
Overall?
Yeah. I scored -8. She scored 45 yesterday. No, 2 days ago.
Wow.
No, that was yesterday. Today I'm down 44-30. So Kinley's just freaking stomping me in the ground right now. And if I was looking at the playoff projections, I'm like a half game out from being the 5th seed in the playoffs. What?
Oh my gosh. I picked up a guy today, a pitcher. I had an empty spot, and I didn't start him, and he scored 25 points. I picked him up just to play today,
And forgot
and
to
I
actually.
didn't put him in my starting rotation.
That's
Blah!
sad. Yeah, that's
Oh
sad.
my gosh.
Too bad you're only winning by too bad you're only up by over 100.
But if he comes back and beats me by 25 or less,
Yeah, that would suck. I doubt
oh my
it.
gosh, I'm just gonna slap myself. Ugh. Let's move on to talk about something else. I'm done with sports. Move on.
So video games.
Video games, love
Video
it.
games. From I don't remember when we talked about it. It was made an official announcement. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge comes out June 16th.
It does. 6
And-
days. Well, I mean, I don't. Whenever you hear this, it could be in the past.
That is Thursday. Next Thursday.
And we know everybody's listening to this right now.
And they announced
So.
that Casey Jones is a playable character, and then you broke my heart saying that you have to unlock him. I wonder how quickly you unlock him.
Yeah, like how far do you have to progress? That's a great question. That's what I want to
I'm
know.
gonna be very disappointed if it's like, oh, you got to beat the game first.
Nah, I don't. That would be crazy. I mean, it's possible, but that would be crazy.
It's probably like in like the second. It's probably like the second or third or fourth mission that he like shows up, and at the end of that mission, he's like, I guess I'll join you guys.
Yeah, probably. I bet.
So, we will be getting it on the Swatch, the Nintendo Swatch.
Yep.
It is
It's-
currently, right now, if you're listening to this, in the, well, by the time, I don't know, by the time this drops, I don't know if it'll still be, but it's on pre-order sale.
And I think it is for a few days.
It didn't say when the sale ends. It just said, pre-order bonus, so it probably might be on sale till the game, till like, it'll probably be through Wednesday night.
Okay.
It might be on sale, because you can pre-order all the way up till time of release, and it'll probably drop like midnight kind of thing.
Right.
So,
You're hearing this? Pick it up. You know what we should do? We should add. We should tweet our friend codes on Switch.
I
so people
will
can add us
not
and play
be
with
doing
them.
that.
Why
If
not?
you wish to play with us on the Switch, DM us on Twitter at the Pantless Pod 1, and we'll add you and we'll play. If
Why are you scared?
I am scared,
Why are you scared?
I will do it. Let's do this.
Why are you scared? So yeah, afterwards we'll coordinate. I'll see if I can find my friend code somewhere. I know I've saved it in my phone before, so
I might have to redo it.
I know. I'll find it.
We'll figure it out.
I'll find it. Upload it.
But
It'll be fun.
yes, I am super excited for this game. Cram is super excited for this game after I told him about it and had to explain to him who Casey Jones was.
Oh goodness, that's sad.
Yeah, no, nobody knows who he is. I bet you they announced that and everybody went, who? We got some weird rat, some girl in yellow, and a guy in a ski mask? Are the turtles fighting these guys? Why am I sound like an old lady trying to imitate a young person wondering who this is?
Because you kind of are.
I'm an old lady?
You are a little bit.
Okay. I'll take that.
Oh, weird! It looks like you're drinking craziness.
I am.
Like when you tilted your bottle, like it was going into your background. It was crazy.
I drink. I I drink craziness. That's what I do.
Like you're drinking purple amazingness.
Yeah. So, got any
But-
breaking news? That's all the
yeah.
video games
Yeah, I
I've
do.
got.
You know I've got breaking news. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And this is kind of my sources. I don't know if they're getting. I just don't even want to read the headline. I'm just going to tell you. No, I'm just going to read it. I'm going to read it. These guys are crazy. This is
Get
kind
on
of
it. Let's do this.
gunslinger. You know who Nick Cannon is? You know who he is?
Who?
Nick Cannon.
Sounds familiar.
He's like, he hosts a lot of shows. He hosts The Masked Singer. He hosts Wild and Out. He was in a Drumline. I don't know if you ever watched Drumline when you were a kid.
A little bit.
He was the star.
Yeah.
That was him.
Okay.
Anyway, so my sources have literally just verbatim said Gunslinger Nick Cannon closes in on greatest impregnator of all time by knocking up another woman after Johnny Manziel's ex-wife. So apparently Nick Cannon got Johnny Manziel's ex-wife pregnant.
Kardashian clone Brie Tetiasai, who is also Johnny Manziel's ex-wife, announced that this week that she's expecting a child with entertainer Nick Cannon.
So that's your sources are telling you the same thing, but in a much nicer way. But doesn't she? You see, she kind of looks like Megan Fox. Kind of weird. Creeping me out. But
A little bit.
So he has gotten 6 different women pregnant over the last 11 years with 9 different pregnancies and 1 set of twins.
So how many kids is that?
So,
My math didn't math right.
no, that doesn't make sense. 9.
You said 8, then 9,
It
then twins.
says he's got 11 kids. But he's had 9 pregnancies with 6 different women over the last 11 years.
At least he spread
And
it
so
across.
I guess does this make this one is I don't know. I'm confused. This whole official email that I've received is not making sense to me. He's got a bunch of kids with a bunch of different women.
Hey, at least he
and,
spread it across 11 years, and it's not the story's not like he's got like 11 or 12 kids from 8 different women within the last year and a half. They're like all the kids are all like the same age.
That's true. Yeah, it makes it look like maybe he's at least like committed to the person while he's with them.
Yeah.
So that's fair. I like it.
This is a funny picture of Johnny Manziel here on my screen.
Is there one?
So it looks like they've used the iPhone filters to give him a frowny face.
Make him an old man.
No, they just gave him a comical frown on a face. Like he looks like he's super sad. That's interesting news there.
So yeah, there you go. That's the news.
Somehow Johnny Manziel finds a way to slither his way into everyone's news.
Right? How does this keep happening?
Him and old Colin Kaepernick just find ways to not fade into irrelevancy.
That's a fact.
Somehow their names are mentioned at least several times a year in some weird news. So,
yep. I don't know. I heard Colin's going to be playing again this year. He's going to be quarterback for the Washington Commanders.
oh no, we've got a better quarterback. We got old Carson Wentz at the command. Hey, he's guaranteed to do 2 things this year.
Okay, I'm
Beat
listening.
Dallas and beat Dallas again.
That's I like that you think that. Probably not going to happen, but
We're gonna go
uh,
2 and
you might
2 and
split.
16.
We might split, but
Oh, we split in our opinions.
our opinions.
Yeah, because you're
Like,
saying we split. I saying we split both.
I'll give you a split. I mean, I really
I
think
have one, so I don't need another.
really think the Cowboys are going to do it like sweep, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt and saying maybe they win one. Maybe your Commanders win one.
No, I don't think so. I mean, that's not right. Any more news, or do we want to move on to? We're just gonna fly through this episode.
Fly through. I don't really have any other.
There's really not much to talk about.
There's not.
It's kind of been a
No.
slow day, slow week.
Yeah. The big news was our Vidya game.
We're working on foosball coming back, so we'll have more to talk about soon.
That's right. It's getting close.
Did we watch a movie?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yes.
Retro movie.
I forgot until yesterday what we were even watching. I was like, what are we watching again? I'm too lazy to go watch stellar footage. Con Air.
On freaking air.
So you told me last week.
I've never seen this movie. Never.
What? That hair. That
Right?
hair.
It's crazy. It's hard to believe that it's even real.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah, I was looking. It looks pretty real.
How creepy was Steve Buscemi in this one?
Uber creepy.
Like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
creepy.
Super creepy.
And
But
it's been so long since I watched this, I had forgotten the star power that was in this movie.
So many people it was crazy.
And this was back when Dave Chappelle was still acting in movies.
Well, he was in this movie. I don't think he was even a big deal yet. I think he was just kind of a no-name in this movie.
This was right about the time that he was in film. Because he had, I want to say the Dave Chappelle show he'd already started the Chappelle show at this time.
Oh, did he?
I believe so. And he would have already done Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Okay.
I can't remember what all movies he was in. Because it's like every time I see him in a movie, I'm like, wait, that's Dave Chappelle.
So yeah, I was kind of I was curious. The movie starts out with him coming back from war.
Yes.
And his wife, who is super skinny, like flat belly as all get out. He's down there talking to her stomach like she's pregnant. I'm like, okay,
I don't think he had been gone that long. I think he had.
How is she pregnant? And then he goes to prison, and 3 months later has a baby. And I'm like, that skinny woman was 6 months pregnant.
Some women don't show until they're into their seventh. I don't know.
Fake news somewhere.
Chappelle show started in 03, so at this point in 97, he hadn't done the Chappelle show yet. But, yeah, that didn't make much sense. I will admit, I was trying to cover that up by arguing with you. Correct, that made no sense. My question was, why are they in that bar? Meeting up in that bar? Like, I can't hear you, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, like those guys are giving them hell. Why are you in a bar? Like, you haven't seen each other in at least 3 months.
Right.
Like, leave. Get in a car. Like, why are you meeting up in a bar? You're asking for trouble. You're asking for a movie plot to start.
Right. Yeah. So, note to all of our soldiers: when you get home, go see your lady. Don't meet her in a bar.
Most loved ones meet their returning soldiers, as they're coming back, like either at the airport or, you know, not, hey, I gotta go find my wife. She's
Right.
at a bar somewhere with a
Yeah.
bunch of dudes.
Well, it seemed like she worked there. So there's
Yeah,
that.
that might, and that may have been it too. But it's just like,
Maybe they're just, poor Southern folk that
and
I can't
I
take off work,
also,
so you come meet me at my work.
I also didn't agree with the fact, and this is a movie, so they were trying to have a plot, but him going to jail for self-defense,
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
like,
It wouldn't happen. Like, three dudes jump him in an alley, and he punches one of them in the face so hard he dies, and they're like, nope. But they try to turn it and say it's because you're a soldier, and
You're a soldier,
you're a trained weapon, basically.
but does that mean you're not? He should die there. He should let those guys kill him.
Right, yeah. No, you are completely correct.
Like,
They tried. They tried.
you're
What?
you're stretching to get this guy in jail for this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet that dead dude's uncle or something was, a judge's friend or something. Cause,
Yeah. Well, it looked like he would have been tried at he would have been tried by the military. That wouldn't have been a civil or, it didn't look like he was on murder trial. It looked like he was in a military court. Because there was no jury, there was no big to do. It looks like he was just standing there with his lawyer there beside him.
Which does that really make a lot of sense? If you're in a non-military incident, you're home.
They're still tried by the military at that point.
Are you?
Have you never watched the show Jag? Or
No.
what was the other one that was military based?
Two?
Crap, what's that other one? I'll think of it later. But most of your military personnel, because I don't think he was discharged yet, because he was still in uniform when he came back.
Yeah.
I think he was just on. I don't really know, but most
Just
of the
on
time,
leave?
military are tried by military judges with military lawyers.
Well, then you would think that they would at least, like, he didn't instigate it. He was.
I don't know. I think it was just. I think it was just. I don't
Just
think
for
it
the
was.
movie.
Yeah, it had to have been. But my lack
This
of.
movie only works if he goes to jail.
Yeah, he had to go to jail to get on Con Air.
Like, yeah, they had the plot. They're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a movie called Con Air, where convicts are in the air. All right. We're gonna have Nicolas Cage. He's gonna be military. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Well, how do we get him to be the good guy and be on Con Air? Oh no, we'll figure it out. Get in a bar fight. He'll kill somebody. Will that work? They won't.
NCIS was the one I was thinking of, where they investigate. They're like crime scene. It's, I think, naval crime scene investigators or something like that.
I've heard of that, but yeah, never seen it.
Yeah, me and the wife will watch the crap out of that show. So it would have dealt with, like, their team would have dealt with, like, the investigation of how it happened kind of situation, because it was military personnel that was involved in the crime.
The military, they have a different legal system than we have.
They just no, not normally. That's what confused me about it. But let's not get tripped over that, I guess.
I'm already tripping.
I know.
Tripping, dude.
It confused the crap out of me. I guess if I was one that truly cared, I would have researched this. But I really
We're not
don't.
all about research here. We're not going to do that.
No. What do you think we are, professional podcasters here?
Come on.
Come on.
I know some podcasts are out there, and they spend 13 hours. Each host spends 13 hours researching their topic.
Actually prepping their episodes.
Yeah.
Paying money for graphics and theme songs. You're silent again.
Oh my goodness. My mic. I need something better
We're literally
I need
talking
a
about
mic.
being.
in my face.
We're proving that we're not professionals at this. Austin's just a temporary mute every so often. He just decides he doesn't want to be heard.
Yeah. Don't
Metacritic.
judge me.
I will judge you.
All right.
I will judge
All right.
you
Metacritic.
all day long. So,
I
23 critics.
seriously doubt these critics liked it at all. This could be. I'm going to say they gave it a 38.
They're about a middle of the road there, sir. They're a 52.
Oh, well, that's impressive. I would not have guessed that.
This was a good movie.
It wasn't like critic good, was it?
I don't know what is critic good. Cause,
Nobody knows what critic good is.
Yeah, because they're so...
They're like, you got to watch this movie. It's a 72.
Because I've looked through Metacritic's list of hundreds, and they're all movies made in like the 30s and 40s and 50s.
So that's like when all of the critics were teenagers. Like that's it goes on. They're like, there's too many loud noises, and I couldn't handle it. That young man's hair was way too long. It gets a 7.
Oh, back in my day, they didn't talk. It was all just silent films with words. Kids don't get to read anymore. Okay, so 366 users out of 10.
Ooh, 366 users. I think the users were a little bit better, but I think they gave it a 6.7.
They were actually a lot bit better. They gave it an 8.5.
Wow, that is impressive.
Because this is a good movie. The users,
I enjoyed it.
it was like a pivotal Nick Cage movie. Like, this was like...
It was good, but what I'm surprised about is this was like one of those action movies that I'm surprised.
What were you surprised about?
It.
Oh.
That people enjoyed it. Like, it was kind of... It wasn't really a cheesy
corny.
action movie.
It had a little bit. It had a little bit of corniness to it.
Just only a smidge, but it wasn't like bad.
It had one of my favorite lines in most movies, in all movies. It was the. God, I just said his name too. Oh, Steve Buscemi's character. Define irony.
Right.
A bunch of convicts dancing in a plane to a song. I've already messed it up. Dancing.
That's pretty much it.
To a song of a band that died in a plane crash.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the way he said, define irony. Like, in his voice. Was hilarious. Like, I remember the first time I heard that. And then Nick Cage's accent in this, his southern accent.
Pretty rough. His accent was
hilarious. It was hilarious.
I'm gonna give you that. It was rough. That was
Come on.
Yeah, that was rough. But that was the worst part of the movie, was his accent.
I can agree. But it was the best part of the movie too.
Yeah.
Like you take away his accent, that it's not even the same movie almost.
You're right.
Like, so good. We had 8 critics. We had 8 positive, 11 mixed, 4 negative. Users, we had 303 positive, 42 mixed, 21 negative. Washington Post gave it an 80, so the highest score was an 80 by the critics.
All right.
Preposterous, predictable, but excessively entertaining. This frenzied thriller draws both story and characters from such action classics as The Fugitive, Die Hard, and The Dirty Dozen, and The Silence of the Lambs. Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs, I wouldn't consider that an action, but
No.
go on. Okay, that's fine.
No, you can't consider.
Well, you did see a guy in a straitjacket with a muzzle, so
We need to find Silence of the Lambs. That's one we need to jump on. So the Dallas Observer gave it a 20, while Tyro director Simon West fills Con Air with all the slam bang action and well honed wisecracks that were the more positive qualities of its predecessors. The film brims even more with all their worst qualities.
Oof.
Wow, that's a 0, but in a language I don't know.
I dare you just to attempt it.
I tried in my head. I'm like, wait, I don't know that because it starts with Nicolas Cage, not and that's spelled in English. So obviously the guy knows a little bit of English.
Nicolas Cage. I know English.
Wow, that's racist.
Against what? I don't even know what language you're talking about. That could have been my worst Russian impression ever.
Okay, here's Damp Ferrets giving it a 7. It's a user score. Such an amazingly terrible movie that takes so many cliches, so many plot holes, and so many unrealistic scenarios and pumps them up to 11. Cannot recommend enough.
Nice.
I love that.
I don't think it was that bad, but I mean,
it wasn't bad. It's a terrible premise with a little bit of mediocre acting. Am I wrong in thinking that his friend was the guy from Bubba Gump? Is that the same guy?
No, I don't know. I can see that.
Is it not the same guy? I forgot to check.
I don't think so.
And I'm not trying to be horrible at saying that. It looks like the same guy.
Right. I don't know. It could have been.
It is the same guy.
Is it?
Michael Williamson? Butchered that name.
Snap.
Yeah, he was in Forrest Gump and Con Air. 94, 97.
Wow.
I thought
That's
that
crazy.
was him. When I first saw him on screen, I'm like, that could be the same guy. But then when they're in the plane and he's just like dying because he hadn't had his insulin, I'm like, I think that's the same guy. You just have to picture him without the extended lip. Yeah. Yeah.
So that means in that whole show, he was just acting like.
Oh, they probably it's probably prosthetics.
It's got to be so hard. Like that right there, what I did hurt my jaw.
Acting, man.
That's crazy.
Acting. He wasn't in the movie that long, though.
No, he didn't have a lot of time, but.
Same guy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
He is now 65 years old.
Dang, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Oh, and we haven't even talked about how good of a role John Cusack played in this movie. Like, I am a big fan of John Cusack. I used to watch all his movies growing up, like throughout high school.
Yeah.
Like, such a good actor, and I can't name one of them because my memory is bad. But I haven't watched them.
Did you ever watch Better Off Dead?
Yeah.
That was a good one. That should be our next one.
Look it up.
That was a good one.
Give us some common sense.
Common Sense Media. So, we've got, and I think we've had her before, Heather Borner.
I saw the name because I pulled it up and it wouldn't let me actually look, but I saw it and I want to see you butcher that name. But good job at getting it right.
Anyway, she says 17 and older, 2-star. She said a schmaltzy action adventure at 8,000 feet. 6 parent reviews gave it a 3-star for 15 and older, and 18 kid reviews gave it a 4-star for 15 and older. So they both agreed 15 and up, but the kids thought it was a little bit better movie than the parents did.
Okay.
So, all right, here we go. Here we go. Positive messages.
Give it a 1.
A 1?
1 or a 2. Let's give it a 1.5.
1.5. Heather says not present.
What?
So, but it's clickable. Let's see. She says the plane is full of antisocial and sociopathic criminals who act in accordance. One stereotypically gay inmate. A lot of disrespect for authority. There was a lot of disrespect for authority.
There was.
I mean, they were kicking cops, punching cops, shooting cops.
But in all that, there's that positive. There's always the good in the bad. Like, his character was like good.
Yeah, there was a positive. He'd never leave a man behind. Like, he did not let his inmate friend die.
And his military training is what,
Yeah, no, I agree.
I guess that'd be more of a role model than a positive. So let's see what positive role model says then.
All right.
Which I would give that a 1.5 to 2 as well.
Well, let's move on to that. It's not even a category in this one. Not even a category. There you go.
All right, move on to the next category.
Move on to the next category. And these are interesting. I've never seen them like this. Violence and scariness.
Yeah, we've had that before. Normally it's just violence, but they decided to tack it on there, which they probably added this one to it, and it's a not present.
Wasn't much scary. There was some violence, but it wasn't very scary to the not present.
Violence and scariness. Let's give it a 3. Good middle of the road.
She said a 5.
I don't
5 out of 5, but a very short blurb. Very short blurb. Here we go. An inmate threatens, then attempts to rape a female guard. Several people are shot to death. An arm is severed from a body, and a body is thrown from the plane. That's it. 4 little bitty snippets and a 5. We've read a novel, and it was a 4. And we're like, how did you guys not give him a 5 from that?
Yeah.
And she's like, I saw 4 things. It's a 5. 5. 5. 5.
Yeah.
So, moving on. This next one. Sex, romance, and nudity.
One.
She says not present. Not even clickable.
Oh, I figured she'd give it a 1 or 2 because of the dude trying to get at the girl.
Right? I mean, he was dancing with his wife, like, I don't know. Whatever. That was romantic. I think dancing with your wife is romantic.
Sometimes.
Obviously, Heather doesn't think so. She doesn't think it's romantic for the husband to, dance with his wife. But whatever. Or defend her honor by murdering a man. I mean, manslaughtering a man. What about language? What do you think she says about language?
Probably she's going to give it a 5, but I'd only give it a 3 or 4.
Right? You would think she would give it a 5, but she actually gives it a 3.
Okay.
So, she says the N-word is used several times.
Yeah.
Crude terms for a woman's vagina are used to belittle men.
Yeah. Weird way to say it, but all right, move on.
Exactly right. And then general swearing. She doesn't get into details. It's just general, generic swearing. Just swearing. Just happen. She is super interesting. I'm very intrigued by this. I want to look back and see what did we review that she did last time, because this is weird. Products and purchases.
What's
the new one? Yeah. Products and purchases.
Not present.
Not present, but clickable. She says the end is an ad for Las Vegas.
What?
So, if you're into flying down the strip or getting hit by an airplane on the strip, come to Vegas. So yeah, she considered that scene, but she didn't really count it. She was just letting you know it's there, just in case you're like, wait, didn't they have a thing about Vegas? Yeah. Drinking, drugs, and smoking.
Not present.
I don't remember anything, but she says a 3 out of 5.
What?
And it's clickable. It says some smoking and drinking, but not by the main character. and that's it.
Who's the main character? There's so many characters.
Nicolas Cage is the main character.
He
John
is.
Cusack is like a supporting actor. I mean,
I was just giving.
their editors recommend that we watch Gone in 60 Seconds next. And that's it for Common Sense Media. Like, nothing. But not present, a 5 with very little details is why it's a 5. A not present, a 3 with very little details. A not present, and then another 3 with very little details. Like, it's almost like she had a quota hit. She was ready for bed. She's like, present 3.
So there's not even there's not even a description at the bottom that kind of runs through it.
It's super short. So super short. Parents need to know that one character, a convicted rapist, threatens to rape a female guard and later attempts it. The film implies that a mass murderer killed a little girl. Later we find out that he didn't.
No.
Characters graphically describe murders and rapes they have committed.
Yeah.
Many kill again on screen and gruesomely.
That's it.
That's it.
No talk about the plot or anything that's good.
Nothing. No. Like, it's done.
Phoned this one
And the parents reviewing are not much better. Here's a 5-star review from a parent that says 7 and older. They said, this title has great role models and too much violence. That's it. The parents just basically did what Heather did. They're just like, here you go. Why do you think this is a 5-star for a 7-year-old? Barden? Well, it's got great role models. I mean, she didn't even give us an opportunity to see the role models. And it's got way too much violence. That's perfect for my 7-year-old.
Well, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
So, while you were reading that non-review there,
I like that.
I was looking through John Cusack movies.
Yeah.
Gross Point Blank was the one I used to watch all the time of his.
Gross Point Blank?
Yeah. From 97. And High Fidelity was the other good one. Those are the 2 movies of his that I prefer. Serendipity is not too bad.
Super interesting. Hold on, I got to
Okay.
There's a section down here that says, I don't know if they've always had these, but there's a what's the story section, and is it any good section, and talk to your kids about section.
Well, most of the time the reviews actually have sustenance that we can actually read and actually get something out of.
So just listen to that. It says there's no moral, like under is it any good? There's no moral to the story of Con Air. And while the acting is great, Dave Chappelle plays a particularly gregarious felon. There's nothing to sink your teeth into, but that will be fine for most teens. Con Air delivers the good with good-natured jokes and oddly non-threatening psychopaths. Steve Buscemi plays a creepy serial killer who psychoanalyzes his fellow convicts and has a disturbing tea party with a little girl in a trailer park. Poe supposedly goes to jail for killing a man to defend his wife's honor, and he continues the theme by protecting and saving Guard Bishop. And then it goes on to talk about more stuff. Like, her Is It Any Good is like the biggest thing. But if you want to know what to talk to your kids about, families can talk about why movies like Con Air make murder seem so easy. Why don't any of the characters seem affected by the murders they've just committed? Families may also want to discuss why the film depicts the felons as dangerous but also lovable. Families may also want to discuss Poe's heroics. Do women need to be saved? How do men in your family show they love women? Did Poe defend his wife's honor by fighting those men, or was he really defending his masculinity? So, gather the kids around. Gather around, children, gather around. Talk about these things. Anyway, going back. What are we watching, man? What are we doing?
Well, I just saw a movie that someone suggested.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was suggested or if me and someone at work were talking about it. But I see that The Eraser is on Netflix.
I think I know that one. Eraser.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh.
He erases people. I think he
From existence.
he helps people disappear in protective services. He erases your existence and sets you up with new life. I think that's what that movie is. I want let's not about new movie yet because we forgot to talk about a few things.
Okay.
So I
What do we-
watched a new Netflix comedy the other night.
Okay.
It's a stand-up comedy called
All right.
Netflix is a joke festival. Bill Burr presents Friends That Kill. Friends Who Kill.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Don't watch
I
around
love me some
kids.
stand up.
It's basically Bill Burr is the host, and there's a bunch of other comedians that come up on stage and do short sets, and he does some small jokes in between. Really good. Did you watch the newest episode of Obi-Wan?
Mm-hmm.
I saw someone at work Wednesday. I saw somebody at work tweet out that the new episode of Obi-Wan was boring. And I watched it and went, I guess because they're trying to compare it to how exciting episode 3 was.
I
With all the Vader
guess.
stuff, and then they were just let down. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I'm sad there's only 2 more episodes left.
There's only 2 more. We've got that determined.
I heard from somebody that said that this was only a 6-part short series, and that they extended it to a season 2. You're gone again.
That is terrible.
Which I don't think I think they could have done 8 episodes and done the whole, got it all done. Got it all done. But I think what it makes it sound like is that they're going to stretch this Princess Leia kind of arc
Yeah.
another 2 episodes. Like, it's going to take him like another 2 episodes to, like, maybe next episode he gets her back to the fam, or something's going to happen. Because the one lady put the tracking device on Lola.
Right.
So I think she dies in 5 or near the end of 6. The Inquisitor girl.
Right.
And
Third sister.
And I think they finalize this story arc, and we get a season 2. And at the beginning of season 2, we're like another 5 years in the future. Like, they use the season break to kind of push it, and Leia's now.
But we're not going to get it for 3 years, right? Because that's how it usually works.
That, or they filmed all 12 episodes at once, and they're just going to make us wait.
Okay.
Maybe. But my source also said that they just approved it for a season 2. So, yeah, it's probably like another 2 years down the road. They're like, well, we'll get this out eventually.
So much. There's another Star Wars show coming out. Like,
which one?
Yeah. Can't remember what it's called. Andor, I think. Have you not seen that? Like, it's usually you see it on the main thing.
I did not. Did you watch the other news series we talked about?
No, I haven't got to see that yet.
Okay, so me and the wife.
That tomorrow.
Yeah, me and the wife watched the first episode of Miss Marvel.
Yeah, is it good?
Yeah, it was good.
All right.
Little weird. I thought it was good for what it was. I will admit my lack of knowledge of the character. I don't know much about Kamala Khan.
I didn't know this was a character, so.
Well, you, sir, are a horrible individual. I can't believe that you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know the great Kamala Khan.
Like, how can you not know anything about the first Muslim superhero?
That was Moon Knight.
He's not Muslim.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Oh.
No, he's American, British, and I don't know what the last guy was.
I'm sure one of his personalities is Muslim. It just hasn't come out yet.
He's multicultural, all right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But the original person He is American. America. What are we watching?
I don't know what we're gonna watch.
What are you feeling?
I think, man, I don't know. What did you just suggest? Because I think if we could find Gone in 60 Seconds, that would be good. Better Off Dead would be really good if we could find that one.
Hold on.
Uh,
I tell you, Gross Point Blank is not available on anything. I just looked it up.
what are you thinking? Are you feeling anything?
I'm drawing a blank. So I pulled up Netflix and there's a new Adam Sandler movie out.
Yeah. Hustle?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll watch that. That's good.
I'll probably watch that here. Okay, Better Off Dead is not on Netflix. I hate it when they do that. But it's like, oh, where can I find it? And it's like, it's on Netflix. And I go, no.
It used to be like 2 years ago.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not showing anywhere. You said Gone in 60 Seconds, which I'm a huge fan of that movie. We're stretching it. That's a 2000 film, sir.
Oh, maybe we should avoid that. I would.
Tubi only. Tubi and Hulu.
Gross on both of those. You know how we feel about
Yeah,
Tubi
I know.
and Hulu.
I know. Let's go back to the Amazons. Our one movie contributor gave me all sorts of just bangers.
Oh, what did he say? I want to know.
Movies I had never heard of. That I don't even know if I could even remember what he said. Want to kick it really old school and watch a really... Have we done Tombstone yet?
That's a tough one. We might.
I want to
I
say we
remember-
have done that one.
I remember we did Wyatt Earp.
Yeah. Did we do Top Gun?
Did we?
I need to go back through and make a list.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to question.
Yeah, because I just don't know, man. We might have done Top Gun, and we might have done Tombstone.
Okay, here. Okay,
I don't think we've done Top Gun. I don't think.
okay. I got two for you. We're going into left field.
Okay. All right.
We got a serious action movie all about America, or a goofy comedy about America. Biodome or Independence Day.
Nah. We should save Independence Day for 4th of July. Our 4th of July.
Oh yeah, that is
episode.
like, oh, we're so far away from that. That's like next year. No, that's like a couple weeks away. That's probably going to be on our off week.
Probably.
Oh, there's a good Halloween movie for us later.
Biodome. Well, that one actually is far away. 4th of July is in less than a month.
Ooh, we could also go Armageddon. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, Armageddon's a good one.
Have you seen Biodome?
No, I have seen Biodome. You know, a movie I haven't seen
What?
that you just made me think of that I probably need to see? Die Hard.
Yeah, but that's a Christmas movie.
I guess that's fair.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a new movie. There's Braveheart, but I don't know if I want to sit through 3 hours of Scottish stuff. What are you thinking?
Man, there's just so many
I,
many things that we could do.
I'm sitting here on Prime, and it's just absolutely just giving me bangers right now. Really good, man. Really good movie.
I mean, there's good ones on Stand By Me. Great movie.
Oh, oh, you really want to go? You really go like out in left field, one that I don't think you've ever seen, and let's watch the 1982 The Beastmaster. Have you ever seen that movie?
Is that Arnold?
I don't think so.
Who's the Beastmaster? I don't think I've seen it.
Mark Singer, Tanya Roberts. It's an old movie. It's like, do you remember? The old TV series for Hercules and Xena, Warrior Princess,
Yeah.
and like the old Conan movie?
Yeah.
It's kind of in line with stuff like that. Those kind of cheesy fantasy. Like,
I like it. I think Beastmaster
let's do
is
it.
great. Let's do Beastmaster.
It's
What's
good.
that on?
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Like, I am trying to go like.
We need a little diversity. We've done some good ones. We've done some classics. Let's go cray cray.
Oh, it's got Rip Torn in it. Rest in peace.
Is that a wrestler?
No, he's an actor. He was the
His name was Rip Torn.
Rip Torn, yeah. Men in Black. He was the headman in Men in Black, the first Men in Black. Got a real deep voice. You're gone again.
I'd have to see him. So bad. Got to get this situation figured out. Got to lean it down, pop it up. I don't know. I'll fix it for next week. This week will just be
as
this
soon
week.
as soon
Hubba
as
suba suba.
yeah, professionals, remember? As soon as
That's
you
right,
see him in a movie, you'll go, "Oh, that guy."
Gotcha.
Just look up Rip Torn Men in Black, and it'll pull it up, and you'll be like, "Oh, that guy." So we're gonna watch The Beastmaster from 1982. I think some of our fans that never watch our episodes will be happy to hear this one.
Heck yeah.
So
All right. That's what we're doing.
looks like they for future
music, sir?
reference music.
Oh yeah, future.
Oh, I just said it looks like they added a bunch of the 007s to Prime as well.
Ooh, nice.
So
I think there's some of those I haven't seen yet.
there would be, yes, ones of those you have not seen. In the list, I'm sorry, I couldn't help that. In my list here, it showed GoldenEye with Pierce Brosnan from the mid-90s. It's like, ooh, classic.
Yeah. Spawned one of the greatest N64 games of all time.
That's coming back.
I don't know. I've never been a fan of the remakes. They've remade it a couple times, and
I heard
I've got
it's-
it every time, thinking it's going to be awesome, and then I've been.
I heard
just
this is
disappointed.
a slight remaster coming out on newer consoles. It's like they're just gonna like up-res a little bit of the visuals, but it's gonna play identical to the original. It's gonna have an online co-op. Online multiplayer. There's reports of some. I can't remember what developer it was, but one of the developer that's rumored to have it and making it of Xbox achievements showing up for 007 in their bios. So we'll see. Music. No, not really. I haven't been listening to anything different. Same stuff. Suggest us music to listen to.
Please do. Please do. And you can do that before or after you like, comment, subscribe.
Or at the same time.
Or at the same time, yeah.
At the
Speak to
same
today.
time. Send us a message on Twitter at the Pantless Pod 1.
Huh?
an email at the Pantless Podcast at gmail.com. I had to remember which one it was. I wanted to make sure I didn't say the wrong one. Inside joke. Where else can they get a hold of us? Leave us a voice message on Anchor. Link in the description below.
That is allowed.
Everything's allowed, sir. If you find my phone number, shoot me a text message. Friend that guy on Facebook.
Yeah, find me on Facebook. I'll allow it.
Find us on Twitter. Or on, not Twitter. I said that one already.
Yeah. No, we're on Twitter.
The TikToks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He
There's
sometimes
that,
posts stuff on the TikToks and has been failing lately.
yeah, that sometimes happens. Yeah, you're right.
But I think we're done. I have to get up early in the morning.
Right.
So I think we're done. Let's pop those off there, pop this up here, and hey, you have a good night, sir.
Man, take it easy, Retta.